talk about matters of TAF Global Africa because part of the leadership recruitment exercise under the TAF Africa Academy, the chief executive of the organization, Mustafa Njai, supervised an intensive cleansing exercise at the Brusubi runabout on Sunday. Basic bedrock of the exercise were 300 young people who formed the second batch, the TAF Leadership Academy volunteers from the neighboring community, joined in to clear all forms of rubbish generated from the domestic setup. Details in this report by Aissatou Tamba.
About 1,000 of volunteers gathered in response to a call by the TAF Leadership Academy to clean up the roundabout areas in Brusubi on Sunday. TAF Africa Global Leadership Academy this year enrolled 300 men and women to undergo leadership training as leaders for the next generation of Africa. Their orientation in January followed a two-day event of the 5th edition of TAF Africa Conference and Networking. The Leadership Academy pledged to train 1,000 leaders within 5 years starting 2019 in series of activities that will encourage participants to creative thinking in solving challenges of the continent. The cleaning exercise was meant to make the place look much better.
I had a meeting with the Leadership Academy that after having been trained, for 1 year on leadership values, what next? That we need to show signs of patriotism. In this country today, there's a big debate of being patriot. Now, if you're a patriot, I think we should back it up with actions. So, together with the other branches of TAF Africa Global, we all came together with some other partners to take up the Brusubi roundabout. The Brusubi roundabout is very central. And as a Gambian, I feel ashamed of myself when I have my counterparts travel from other countries and drive from the airport and see how dirty it is.
Justifying the move as a social responsibility, Mustafa Njai, Chief Executive Officer of TAF Africa, urged that all Gambians must practice love for their country and that the blame game must be laid to rest.
I think the country is at a level where we should stop the blame game, we should stop the weight game. Everybody is pointing a finger on somebody who should be responsible. Everybody is getting out to gather crowds, demonstrations, protests. I just believe that we should back it by actions. And initiatives like this, I think, should be sparked. So as Gambians, we clean up our country. This is the least that we can do.
In partnership with few other non-governmental organizations, the young future leaders peel up all forms of waste generated from households and the business sector for onward disposal by the Brikama Area Council. Surrounded by the towns of Brufut, Sukuta and Bijulo, Brusubi, which is about 12 kilometers from the capital city Banjul, is one of the fastest growing cities in the Gambia, with well-planned estates and state-of-art settlement plans. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Aissatou Tamba.